Hi there, this is Kyle and Travis and we're with Beyond Bipolar blog. Right now we're actually here at Forest Lake, which is maybe about like 20 minutes away from where my girlfriend lives. So we decided to come here, just have a little relaxing time. It's super hot out. It almost peaked almost at like 95 degrees or something like that, but it's pretty hot out, but it's cooler in the lake, so I'm glad we're here. But anyway, what we wanted to talk about today is allergies. So allergies is an interesting topic. I think it does relate to mental health. Sometimes when someone has an allergic reaction to whatever, whether it's gluten or dust mites or
Meds.
Cats or pets or dogs or anything like that. You can have an allergy to anything. Basically, an allergy is when your body reacts to histamines in your body, and it basically tells you that there's foreign objects that you either are inhaling or have in your blood or anything like that that's really not meant for you. So basically it does that to kind of protect your body. But anyway, I wanted to talk about allergies because it can relate to mental health, as it could also be related to mental health issues, allergies, because if you're sniffling or if you have or basically if your body's inflamed, it could exhibit basic mental health symptoms like depression or anxiety or anything like that. So anyway, I do have allergies, but it's the typical type of allergies. I did go to an allergist twice in my life, and I did actually take shots for it. And basically I'm allergic to mainly dust mites and pollen and basically like the basics of allergies, which isn't that bad. But anyway, I do have pretty allergies that kind of impact my life, but not terribly. I do spit up phlegm constantly. Phlegm is like basically postnasal drip, where my nose basically runs and it comes down and I spit it out, and it looks like snot basically that I kind of spew out. But anyway, I actually started off with allergy pills called Claritin, and I was on that for a while, and I actually think it caused tiredness, which I think back then it probably caused me to be a bit more depressed back then. I feel like Trash used to take Claritin too. I don't know if he has bad as allergies as me, but right now I kind of stopped the shots, and it's just really time consuming because you have to wait. You have to go in every week, and you have to wait like a half hour because they don't want you to have a epileptic shock. I think that's what they call it.
You know what the shot was? Like, what was it like?
Mainly, it was just an antihistamine against dust mites and
What made you even want to get the allergy shot?
I actually thought it related to my mental health. That I thought it made me depressed that I had allergies, because when you're sniffling and it kind of suppresses your brain. I know there's some people that actually have a gluten allergy and they get really
brain fog
from it. So it can actually affect you and your mental health. So it's important to kind of stay on top of that and also figure that out. I know this doesn't relate to allergies, but also some other things that kind of act as full mental health issues is also your thyroid, which is also another topic. But basically, if you have an enlarged thyroid, you can have hypo or hyper. Hypo is when your thyroid is overactive, or hyper is when your thyroid is overactive and you end up losing weight. And the opposite is when you're hypo, is your thyroid is slower and you actually gain weight, and it can also cause depressive-like symptoms, which is kind of similar to an allergy in a way. But anyway, a lot of people have certain type of allergies. Like my girlfriend has allergies to bees, and I think she had to go to the emergency hospital and actually had to ride in the ER ambulance type thing, because I guess it was that bad. But right now, my brother and I don't really have allergic reactions to really anything. He might have allergies to meds, yeah. But we get poison ivy pretty bad. I guess you could say that's kind of an allergy. But maybe Travis can lead it off to what I was saying.
Well, I guess the question is, why do you even spend so much time to get the allergy diagnosed? And
because I feel like it could cause depressive-like symptoms, and it could cause tiredness and fatigue. So I thought that if I get that,
true for you or no?
I don't know. It's actually hard to say. Like, even when I take these meds, like antidepressants, I don't even know if they work. All I know is that the trazodone does work because it helps me sleep. But other than that, allergies are just kind of, I don't know, kind of a wing it method for me.
So I don't know if Kyle's actually officially like diagnosed with an allergy to medication, but I'm actually allergic to Depakote. The first time I took it, I felt it was like numbing who I was, but the second time I took it, I remember at night I was heading to my ex-girlfriend's house, and when I was there, I had a hard time breathing, which was more of an anaphylactic reaction to Depakote. They just gave me some type of antihistamine, or like maybe some shot. I believe it was a shot, but then that kind of helped with the swelling, and I never been on that drug. Now, I've actually did a video on side effects. It's a little different from allergies, but there's a ton of side effects that I could probably readdress in another video. I feel like I have more side effects than allergies, and for the most part, allergies for me is not life-threatening. Yeah, I had a hard time breathing, but it wasn't to the point where I was totally unable to breathe at all. It was just a little bit hard to breathe, and my throat was just swelling a bit. So
my dad actually had an allergic reaction. He actually had a seizure to one of these shots that they gave him. I can't remember, something that they were putting in his blood. I can't remember the exact thing, but he is allergic to it, and he did have a seizure, and he actually had to go rush to the hospital because of it. But anyway, allergies can be life-threatening. It makes me think about animals. Some people are allergic to animals, and some people see animals as therapeutic, which is unfortunate because if they're allergic to animals, they can't necessarily have a dog. But there are hypoallergenic dogs out there, like those, I think, Bruchon breeds, and maybe tries to describe it about his therapist.
Anything that has hair, not fur, and typically the curly-haired kind of like animals typically have hair, and they're less likely to shed, which is actually where a lot of people have issues with animals, is that they shed, and that's where the allergy comes from. And Kyle mentioned, yeah, it kind of sucks that some people are allergic to animals when they're really therapeutic, but I think there's alternatives. I mean, yeah, some people just kind of suck it up and just go on antihistamine like Claritin, but for the most part, I don't know anyone with an allergy reaction that's serious.
Is allergies that... I wonder if this relates... Does allergies relate to like what our sister has, where she gets carpal tunnel, where your joints get inflamed? Is that an allergy to something?
I think it is actually, but I don't know what the name. I don't want to mention.
She has a really rare disease, but anyway, it causes her joints to get inflamed, and if she didn't really get meds for that, she'd actually would be in a wheelchair by her 30s. But luckily, she gets meds that kind of reduce that, and they're pretty expensive, I hear. Anyway, allergies can cause mental health type symptoms because, like I said, it could inflame your joints, your brain. Just imagine that. And obviously, because it relates to that, it's important to actually cut that out and make sure to find yourself a diagnosis and make sure that you don't have allergies.
Do you feel there is a relationship to allergies and mental health, or?
I feel like there is. I know there's more studies of
what made you think that? What made you think that allergies made you depressed? Or where did you get that information?
Like a gluten diet. I know there's some people that end up on gluten, which they have to avoid, like wheat and milk, lactose intolerance that could cause not just stomach issues or physical issues, but like emotional, mental health type issues and fog. So it's important to rule that out as well. So that's why I wanted to rule it out. I did take it. I wouldn't say it really helped. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes because I'm that type that's just like, things are gray, so you can't really tell if things are working.
How long have you officially been off an allergy
I think I've been off it for maybe 3 years, so let's go a little forward.
Well, to be honest with you, there's something called the Steven Johnson rash, and I believe that is an allergic reaction.
Lamictal, isn't it?
It's related to lamictals. If you get this really bad rash, it's really serious, called the Steven Johnson rash, and it could kill you. So I know that this type of meds that, you know, can be very fatal to you if you end up taking them. And allergic reaction can be very, very fatal. So keep in mind that Lamictal is one of them. And just to let you guys know that, you know, Lamictal is just one of those drugs that has a rare risk, but very fatal. And I don't know if Colin knows any other meds that people could be allergic
I think
to.
anything could be allergic, so it's important to rule that
My
out.
sister has an
peanut
allergy to fish, so.
and red dye too. Because with me, I'm actually allergic to dust. So if you put dust in me, I'll actually get hives. So it's good to avoid that. I did get the lamictal type allergy too, and I had akathisia, but I did develop hives, which isn't really life-threatening, but it could be more of an inconvenience because it causes itching and things like that. But anyway, it's important to get yourself checked in an allergy clinic. Usually they take any type of insurance, including disability. I went on it. They basically put like a whole bunch of different shots.
How often do you have to get the shot?
And you have to usually get it every once a week.
Once a week?
That's,
you can't just do it once a month?
Nope, it's once a week, and you have to do it every week. Otherwise, you lose the potency. So you actually have to keep up with it. And if you don't keep up with it, you kind of have to start over, which I didn't really want to start over. But also the allergy shot also has to be refrigerated and cooled. So if it's not cooled, you got a problem. But anyway, you can just get it anywhere at your local clinic, at your local hospital or anything like that. So
can you explain the test that you did for the allergy?
Yeah, so the test basically is they give you like various shots and they test like each thing, like including like dogs, cats, dander, pollen.
Did they test foods or no?
Hay.
Did they test foods?
They can. I think they did, but most of it I wasn't as affected. So,
how serious were some of the allergies, that like the dust? Was it really that bad?
Oh, I wouldn't say it was serious.
Oh, why don't you? Is it the neti pot related allergy, or is that?
Yeah, I
something
guess
else?
that's another thing that's important is having a neti pot. It's just basically this thing that where you just pour down your nose, and you put salt in it. Oh. So it's a light salt that actually prevents. It basically prevents. Basically prevents the pain that you feel because your nose is a little bit sensitive what you put in it. But when you put like this salt in it, it kind of reduces the pain and it's easier to soak in. So you basically drop it in your nose and it comes out and it flushes all that pollen out of your.
Does that really help? You haven't done it for.
I actually think it does
time.
help. It's important to have a clean nose. I know some people wax it. Like we tried that once. I actually read somewhere where you're actually not supposed to do that because you have a blood clot in your nose. It could lead to your brain, which could be fatal. But I don't know about that. I remember Dr. Oz was talking about that one time. But
is there anything else that people use besides the neti pot and
you could be allergic to like stepping on knives and nails and raws, which is another type of allergy.
Is that an allergy or is that
deadly? But
I don't know. Is that it?
Yeah, I don't know if there's much to talk about allergy. I think that's it. I think it's important to just talk to your local doctor, ask them to see an allergist to rule it out if you're experiencing any diarrhea or stomach type issues. People could be allergic to lactose intolerant to milk, or they also could be allergic to really anything. So it's important to rule that out before. It's important to rule any physical element out before just saying you just have a chemical imbalance in your brain, I feel like.
All right. So be careful, you guys. Thanks.
So this is Kyle and Travis with Beyond Bipolar Blog. You can please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell us if you have allergies. Tell us if you've been treated for allergies. Tell us if it actually helped you when you were treated. If not, please like, comment, share, and comment below for future updates.
Man, these bugs. All right, bye.